Hello, everybody. Today, I wanted to start off with a quote from one of my favorite speakers, favorite motivational speakers, overall, an individual that I really admire and I look up to. And this is a quote. This is a passage he specifically wrote about mothers. So I want to share this with you guys. A mother has an unbelievable impact on a child's life. She's the first connection to the world and the primary source of safety, care, and love. But it's a relationship that requires balance. Too much protection, and the child can grow into someone who faces the challenges of life. Too little, and the child feels abandoned. A good mother sacrifices endlessly for her children, but she also knows when to let go. The goal of parenting isn't to keep the child dependent, but to prepare them to be independent, strong, and capable of facing the world on their own. Let's take a moment of a pause there for a second. Kind of let that resonate for you a little bit. To me, my mother is everything. She's an amazing person, and when I heard this passage, it really resonated with me, and I hope it resonates with a lot of you out there as well. But I think he got it right on the right on the spot when it comes down to this passage. So Jordan, thank you for sharing this with the world. Thank you for sharing this with us, and we really appreciate you. So yesterday, I've been starting to look into more on the disposition side of things, guys. It is a it is another avenue of your business that you cannot neglect. It is something that you have to make sure to get good at enough to where you can train somebody to take your position as well. Acquisitions and dispositions are two completely different segments of your business, so you cannot rely on one has to rely on the other, and they have to be cohesive and work together jointly. So as much as you put your training in acquisitions, what is a property good for if you can disposition the property? So what I've been starting to do, which I haven't done really, is look into actually how to do dispositions, because I realized that dispositions is also sales, right? You're also selling the property to a potential buyer and what value this property could bring to that buyer. So if you don't know how to paint a picture, if you don't know how to elaborate, and if you don't know how to use your words eloquently and directly to show the buyer what can be of this shell or of this property, and what it can be in the future, then you're going to have a very hard time in wholesaling or in real estate in general. This goes for both creative and cash deals. You have to on the creative deals, you have to show the buyers what they're getting, what the potential of the cash on cash return can be, what the potential of the appreciation can be, the depreciation on their taxes. You want to talk about the different exit strategies. What's the best exit strategy? So you want to go ahead and just make sure you have all your ducks in order when it comes to having all that information, because your buyers are going to be the ones taking over that property, whether it's a subject to or seller financing property, and they're going to want to know all that information. So if it has an HOA, you want to make sure that you provide the HOA bylaws, HOA CCNRs. What are the restrictions? I've had a deal where I had an HOA, had bylaws, everything was great. The realtor's like, oh yeah, there's no restrictions, nothing's going on. And then all of a sudden, we get a docs from the actual HOA, and they just had an amendment done 2 months ago. No one disclosed this to us. No one knew about it. Boom, put down a 6 month minimum lease restriction. So so basically, the exit strategy for that property was to do short term rentals, and now you cannot even do even midterm rentals because they have a 6 month minimum lease restriction on the property. So that property that was about to close, we obviously you had to go ahead and cancel the deal because there was no exit strategies, and we couldn't find any buyers of that at that time because I was fairly new to the business, so I didn't have as much of an influence on our industry, and didn't have as big of a network as I have right now within the sub two community and other communities that I'm a part of and groups and so forth and so forth. When it comes to cash deals, I follow Robert Wensley on Investment, watch him make these phone calls, and it's really cool. It's really cool what he does. If you guys are not watching Investor Lift videos, then you should be. Whether you have Investor Lift or not, it doesn't matter. What's cool about it is you start seeing how these master dispo managers talk to these buyers, put in a sense of urgency, really in layman's terms explain to these buyers what this property is and what this property can be, and it all comes from experience, reading, obviously first studying a script that you're going to want to use, and then probably then you kind of mold it to your own based on your own personality and based on who you are. But essentially every business has their SOPs, they have their procedures, they have their processes, and they have their scripts. That's how business runs. I mean, anything else, you're just kind of flying by the air. I mean, that's all you're doing. So, and you can't scale that, right? It's very hard to scale a business when people are not on the same page and everybody's doing their own thing and talking differently and not following what works, right? So what I just did was I spent hours and hours and hours of watching tape, and I went ahead and I put together some SOPs for our dispositions manager on how to use certain things, how to go about certain things, how to make sure to efficiently plan out her day, to make sure that these deals do get disposed because we have a timeline on these, right? For me, I want to make sure that, yeah, I would love to get them disposed within first few hours, maybe the same day. But if they're not gone within 5 days, then we have to go back to the drawing board and we have to look at things and see what's going on. So that's definitely something that I think is really really important that everybody should definitely take a look at. So um, be mindful of that as well when you're looking into wholesaling. It's not all about acquisitions. You could have the best deal in the world, but if you have no buyer, you have nothing, right? So uh, first, put together, you got your acquisitions, and then put together just a little bit of bullet points and a small little process, like a one page, like, hey, this is how I dispo these deals. This is how I want you to do it. And this is what you have to say. This is what I want you to study. This is how I want you to interact. This is the kind of tonality I want you to use. This is how I want you to paint the picture for the buyer. So this is something that's new to me. This is something that I'm learning, and it also goes in all facets of life, right? It goes into painting a picture of somebody that you meet, what they're going to have with you, what they're looking forward to, um you know and just in all different other businesses and sales. You're not really selling the product. The product is fine, the product might be a great product, but if that person cannot visualize how that product can enhance or help their life, then you have no sale. You can sell somebody uh, a diamond that's not fully formed yet, right? But if you cannot explain that that diamond will become a diamond, right? Then it's just a rock at that point, right? So that's what sales is, just you got to learn how to paint that picture. You got to learn how to show people what they're going to get out of it and how it's going to affect not only their lives but their family lives. So after they buy that product or house from you, how is it going to positively impact their family's life and their loved one's life, and potentially, obviously their life. But it's got to be all well rounded, so it can't just be one sided, right? So some people just need a little bit of a bigger push because obviously there's a lot of procrastination out there. I myself personally, I still procrastinate on things I don't understand. I still procrastinate, and I don't know why I still do that. I think it's probably because of how I was raised. I was not raised in a business, in a business environment. I was raised by a single mom, that worked a lot of jobs and supported us and was fantastic. My dad wasn't really around. Maybe saw him like once a month, or maybe once every 3 months, if anything. But it's just not in my subconscious. So that's what I'm trying to change. in my family tree for my son. I want to make sure that he's not scared, that he's out there taking risks. He's not procrastinating. He's being optimistic. He's doing everything he possibly can in his youth to try and fail, try and fail, try and fail. You know what? Fail forward. But at least you tried. You learned a lesson. And the next time you do, you do what you do. If you like something that you've done, next time you do it, you'll do it better. And every single day you'll get 1% better. But if you see continue to procrastinate, or if you don't pick up that phone and you don't make those offers, or if you don't make those phone calls, then nothing's gonna come, right? Nothing's gonna come. This whole streaming thing right now, this just happened out of nowhere. I never even thought I was going to be streaming on all these platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and everywhere else. And now I started streaming. I've been really consistent with my social media for the last what is it, like maybe a year and a half now. Maybe yeah, I think like what was it, June 2023? So I would say about a year and a half is when like I've been pushing really social media. So you guys just got to get out there, put that put that phone on. You don't have to stream like me. You don't got to do any of the stuff. You don't need this crazy green background, with the grass and stuff, or the neon signs. Just be you, just be you, just be authentic, be your authentic self. Show the world who you are, what kind of value you can bring. Don't just take it, give, and then ask. Give, and then ask, right? You want to be a servant to your customers. You want to be a servant to your people. You want to be a servant to your team. Your team doesn't work for you guys. You work for your team. Without your team, your company that you're building will be nothing. You'll be a solopreneur by yourself doing all the tasks, no delegation. So make sure you go to your team to say, hey, you know what? You did a great job today. I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud of you. I see you improving. You've been getting better and better. I really appreciate you being part of my team. I really see that you're trying. You know, keep doing what you're doing. And I promise you, your efforts, your work ethic, your consistency will pay off. Will pay off. It's impossible not to pay off. So as you can see, I'm time blocking right now. I probably have like a ton of emails right now that I just don't even care about. I don't even right at that point. I don't even care. Those are emails. I'll answer them whenever, even if there's shit blowing up in title, whatever. It is what it is. I have my TC handle it. I don't gotta be a part of it. I mean, if they need me, great. I'll come in there and I'll provide some solutions. But I need a time block. I need a time block. I need a time block my streaming. I need a time block my phone calls. I've been kind of going back on I'm making the phone calls. When I first started, I was on the phone all the time. Now I feel like I'm answering more emails than I'm on the phone. So I'm not producing. I'm not doing the money making activities that I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So make sure that you time block, man, however many hours you can be on that phone. Like if you can make 100 phone calls a day and 35 of those people will pick up the phone, and you make those 35 offers, it's impossible for you like not to get a deal or a contract. One thing that I don't want you to do is is second guess yourself and have analysis paralysis, because that is something that hurts everybody. Like, oh man, I can't run these numbers. I can't run these numbers. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that on multifamily. I'm guilty of that on RV parks. I'm guilty of that on some cash deals when I can find similar comps. You know what? At this point, it is what it is. I'm going to get it under contract for as low as I can possibly can. If I don't see any good comps around there, I'll tell the seller, I'll tell the agent, listen, based upon what you told me, this is what we can buy it for with the comparables that I see. However, if there's any more repairs that are going to be needed that were not disclosed, we're going to go ahead and give you that information, give you that information after our inspection. Is that okay with you? And then typically what they'll do is they'll say yes. So another thing I'm doing is I have a property right now that's a flooded property in Hudson, Florida. I've never done one before. Okay, I've never done a flooded property before, and it's in Hudson, Florida. And the city deems it to be demoed, but they will issue free permits, and they will also give you They also said that they also pay for the demolition on it. So when you build it, it's a new build. You can sell it as new construction as well, and you can use the new construction comp. So there's a huge spread on this deal. If there's anybody in Hudson, Florida, that wants a property on the water, it does have a slip and it does have its own dock. It's on the canal. Let me know because I think this is a pretty good deal. I just don't never done a flooded property before, so I'm not too I don't know how to do them. So if I mean, if you guys are out there, if anybody here wants to help me out with a flooded property, please reach out. Let's collaborate. You got a buyer that buys flooded properties. Let's collaborate. Let's make this deal happen. I haven't done one before, so this would be the first property that I would do. Unfortunately, guys, I don't see any chats here, so I don't. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this system here that I'm using, but hopefully I'll be able to figure it out pretty soon and get the and be able to see what you guys are saying in the chats. But right now, I'm blind when it comes to chats, so forgive me for that. I don't see anything. If you guys want to collaborate, I just saw a bunch of you yesterday DM me, so thank you so much. You're like, hey Mike, can we JV? Absolutely, let's JV. Let's JV on creative deals. Let's JV on cash deals. Let me help you structure those cash deals. If you want, I'll have myself or one of my team members jump on that phone with you, with the realtor, with the seller. We'll sell creative to them. We'll sell cash to them. Get that contract locked up for you. Get that contract disposed for you, and get you paid. I'm gonna get some new student partners paid. I've already got a bunch of people I've collabed with. A lot of them got paid with me, got their first deal with me. Let's continue that on. I want that trajectory to keep going, to keep going, to keep going. So let's do that, guys. But we got a lot of interest on the South Carolina deal. Man, let me tell you, South Carolina Morby method, you bring in only you bring in only 15K and you own the property. I mean, fantastic. And it cash flows and I'm sorry, in South Carolina. Let's go ahead and we got a bunch of interest on that. I think we also got an offer today on that as well. So if you're out there, you're looking for some deals, I think we have Amarillo, Texas, Madeira Beach, Florida, Hudson, Florida. Right now we have South Carolina. We have two in Jacksonville, Florida. So where are my Jacksonville guys at? Come on, where are you guys at? We got Jacksonville, Florida deals as well. All these deals are creative. Besides Hudson, Florida is a cash deal, and these other ones are creative deals, right? So because that's what I do a lot of creative deals. So with that being said, I still want to send out prayers to all my friends in California. Hope you guys are okay. I did see that the fires are slowly, I guess, settling down in some areas. So thank God for that. Thank God for that. Thank God my brother lives over there in Laguna Niguel, so the fires didn't get out there. So I'm thankful that him and his family weren't affected, but it doesn't mean that I'm not. I'm not worried and sad for the others that were affected in LA, a lot of my friends and people that live there. So, praying for you guys. We hope you rebuild quickly. We hope everything works out. We gotta look forward. We gotta push forward. And anybody out there, like I mentioned before yesterday, GoFundMe has a specific page just for these California wildfires. So people don't send their money to scammers. So with that being said, it's January 10th, 11:02 my central time. I'm in the Windy City, Chicago. I live in the Chicago suburbs though, so I do a lot of business out here. But yeah, if anybody has any deals, shoot me for some deals. I got some goals on the board for this year. I want to buy an RV park. I want to buy a multifamily building. I want to gain 10,000 followers. So if anyone wants to share this, on Instagram, if you guys think I'm bringing you value, please, give me a follow on YouTube, on Instagram, on Kick if you can. And I'm also going to be doing meetups monthly. So if you're in the Chicagoland area and if you want to come to my meetup, my meetups are going to be completely different. my meetups are going to be so intentional that you're going to walk out of there not talking to your friends and not only knowing the two people that you came with, you know the whole damn room. Okay. You'll know the whole damn room. You'll know what they want, what they need, what value you can bring. Those are the meetups that I'm going to be doing. We're not going to be going to meetups standing around, drinking water with our own little inner circle. That is to me pointless, right? So, you want to join my meetups? And we're gonna have them in Schaumburg, Illinois. Come by, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the location of the meetups and the address, and the time and the date. I haven't figured it out yet, but I might do it in 2 weeks. I'm actually flying out to Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, where my mentor, Pace Morby, lives. But I'm actually going to be out there not to see him this month, but I'm going to be out there with my buddy Ellie, who's also a very big wholesaler here in Chicago. Shout out Ellie. He is a fantastic guy. We're going to be learning storage units. So we're going to go into a boot camp for storage units. I'm going to put that on my 2025 goal, partner up in a storage unit. Now, when I say own, I mean, I want an equity percentage. I don't want to own the whole thing, guys. I don't want to own the whole thing. I don't want to have all that on my head, the operation side, and own 100% of that and be worried about all that management. No, I want to be in there where we have a team established. We have an operator, we have a manager, we have partners that bring in the capital. I'll bring in the deal, get my equity, get my assignment, whatever the case is. But I love to be in partnerships and collaborating. Obviously, not all partnerships are great partnerships. So just like my buddy Chris Craig said, make sure that in your operating agreement under the miscellaneous items, you outline the provisions and responsibilities of each operating member. 'Cause I don't care if they're your friend, if they're your family, I don't care if they're your grandma or your mom. Outline provisions, outline responsibilities, because when shit comes to shit and the ship's going down, you need protection. And if you have that outlined specifically on your operating agreement, you don't even need to go to court. You don't even need to go and battle legally. You just simply just remove the person from the operating agreement and call it a day because they either defaulted or they didn't do what they were supposed to do. But once again, I'm not an attorney. Don't take this advice. This is entertainment purposes only. Contact a CPA or an attorney to help you out with that. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining my stream live with Creative Mike, and friends. And I appreciate you guys. Love everybody that's supporting me, supporting what I'm doing. Hopefully, I'm bringing you guys a lot of value. And if you want to hear more, give me some ideas. I want to see what you guys are looking for. If there's something that I'm not saying, or if there's something you want me to go over, please let me know. We're going to be doing different things every single day. So, with that being said, I have to jump off because once again, busy day, busy day. But as always, stay creative, my friends. Thank you.